Hello everybody, welcome to the next game in the 2015 Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. We're in Series 8, matchup number 2, game number 1. It is the surging Arizona Diamondbacks against the surging Cincinnati Reds. Both teams were in the bottom of the league a couple series ago, but now they're both 11-10 and right in the middle of the pack. There you see your starting lineups. Mike Leake against Chase Anderson is your pitching matchup. There was an off day before Series 8, so there's no rest rolls needed. There is one injury to report, and that is Todd Frazier of the Reds has to sit out one more game, so he'll be back for the rest of the series. But other than that, both teams are at full strength. And Mike Leake will start us off. Leake on the replay, 1-2 with a 5.64 ERA. 22 innings pitched, 24 hits, 5 walks, 13 strikeouts. And Ender Inciarte will lead it off for the Diamondbacks. He is hitting .295, no homers and 8 runs driven in. Got the Cincinnati Reds dice, so they're all ready to go. And this game, game number 107, replay dated May 7th, 2015, underway from Inciarte. 2-9, and look at that. 1 is a home run, 2-20 is a double. So that is a leadoff double for Ender Inciarte, as the Diamondbacks don't waste any time at all in getting to Mike Leake. I mean, they wasted very little time. Ender Inciarte, a leadoff double. He will have to be held as he runs very well. So Leake trying to come back from that. Nick Ahmed, who had been struggling, had been moved to the number 2 position. He seems to have taken it to his liking. He's still only hitting a .179, but that's a lot better than what he used to be. 4 home runs, 11 RBIs at just 56 at bats. He only had 9 home runs and 421 at bats, so he's got the power game going big time. Leake 1-5 struck him out, so Nick Ahmed this time down on strikes. 1 away, and that'll bring up Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie on the replay is hitting .347, 3 homers, 11 driven in. 5-9 for Leake. That's a ground ball to short, and that will freeze the runner at second base for out number 2. And it'll be up to A.J. Pollock, center fielder, to get it done. Pollock on the replay is hitting .353. Sorry, .353, 4 homers, 11 runs driven in. Inciarte still at second, being held, and runs well. 2-7 for Pollock, and that's a walk. So a 2-out walk, and that'll put 2 runners on with 2 outs. And it'll be up to David Peralta, the left fielder. So maybe not a bad walk, because Pollock, one of the better hitters in the league, but you deal with a left-handed hitting Peralta, but he's only hitting .217 on the season. 3 homers, 7 driven in. So maybe it was a wise move. We'll see. 2-5. Well, then again, maybe not. Single to center field by Peralta. That almost assuredly is going to score Inciarte. Inciarte runs as a 16. There are 2 outs, makes him an 18. He was being held, makes him a 17. Hamilton's arm is a -2, makes him a 15. So 1-15, they're going to send him. And he makes it. So Inciarte will score. Pollock, let's see. Pollock will make it to third. Oops. He takes third, as he was not being held as a trail runner. Makes him goes from a 17 to an 18, then 2 outs makes him a 20. So he's going to get third automatically. And RBI single for Peralta, and the Diamondbacks take a 1-0 lead. 1-0 lead. Mark Trumbo is now had been traded to Seattle, so he is no longer with the Diamondbacks, but they got Peralta back, and that seems to be to their liking a little bit better. And that'll send up Yosmani Tomas, the third baseman. Tomas on the replay, hitting .273 and 33 at bats, a homer and 7 driven in. Peralta will be held at first. 4-4 against the right-hander is a ground ball shortstop X. They don't have Cozart anymore. He is injured and is done for the season, pretty much. And they got to go to Suarez now, who's the backup shortstop. He's a 3. 3 and a 9 is probably an error check, which is not good for Suarez, because his E rating is E33. And that's an 8. E33 and an 8 is a ground ball A, so he got by with it, made the tough play, holds the Diamondbacks to just the 1 run. Could have been a lot worse. And Leake actually has to feel fortunate that he got out of that with just the 1 run scoring. So we go to the bottom of the first. It's Arizona 1 and the Reds coming to bat. And Chase Anderson on the mound for the Diamondbacks. On the replay, he is 0-3 with a 6.64 ERA. Certainly struggling, to say the least. 20 innings pitched, 28 hits, 4 walks, 23 strikeouts, so he's got a good walk-to-strikeout ratio. But he has given up 6 home runs in 20 innings of pitching. That's been his bugaboo. And Billy Hamilton, speedster, will lead off. Since they don't have Cozart anymore in the number 2 spot, they kind of brought Hamilton from the 9 spot up to the top and shifted everybody down. So Hamilton will lead things off. He's hitting only a .149 in 47 at-bats. But he can run, obviously. 4-8. That's a 1-6 single. And that's a 5. So Billy Hamilton is on. You know that means he can run. So Billy Hamilton is on, and he will be running. Unfortunately, I forgot to print out new runner markers for the Reds, so they're still in their road jerseys. But I guess we can get by with that for one day. I just got so many oars in the water right now that it's got a lot of things going on, so don't always remember to do everything. But Hamilton's aboard. Obviously, he's a threat to steal as a double-A stealer. He starts as a 17. Being held makes him a 15. Catcher arm, Gosewich is a -2, makes him a 13. That's why Gosewich is catching, even though Strat-O-Matic is a better hitter. Gosewich has a much better arm, and they're doing that just specifically for guys like Hamilton. So, 15, as a 1-13, they're going to send him anyway. It's a 4, so Hamilton steals second base. So stolen base for Hamilton, and that's what he's there for, basically. He's already in scoring position for Brandon Phillips, and Hamilton, of course, will be held at second base. Phillips hitting .348 on the replay, a homer and 6 runs driven in. Anderson in trouble early. 6'10", and the injury check for both starters is 6'12", so he's good. 6'10's a fly to left, and that's 1 away. And with a C, can't go anywhere. Hamilton will be stuck at second base for that. Brings up Joey Votto, first baseman. Votto on the replay is hitting .292, a homer and 11 driven in. 6-2, and that's a ground ball first base X. That will at least at a minimum get Hamilton to third. First baseman is Goldschmidt. He is a 1. 1 and a 7. Let's make sure that doesn't go to an error check. And it does. It does go to his error check. 1 and a 7. It goes to an error check. He's an E5. And that's a 6. E5 and a 6 for a first baseman is a ground ball A. Good play. But my little rule is that A, when it goes off the X chart, it becomes a C result because of the difficulty of the play. On ground balls like that, it goes first base to pitcher covering. Not really a C, but first base to pitcher covering. And Hamilton, since the ball was hit to the right-hand side, he will make it to third base. So the out's going to go 3-1 as Goldschmidt flips to Anderson covering for out number 2. And now it's up to Suarez. And this is where they really miss Todd Frazier right now. But he'll be back next game. But Suarez, not horrible. He's hitting .288, 4 homers and 10 driven in, so he's certainly capable. 1-4, but not this time. He grounds to short to end the inning. And the Reds come away empty-handed. And Chase Anderson pitches out of the mess. So at the end of 1 complete, it's 1-0 Arizona. And for the Diamondbacks, it'll be second baseman Cliff Pennington, kind of the utility guy that's getting a start today, a rare start. He's hitting .227, a homer and 4 driven in just 22 at-bats. 4-9 against Leake. That's a home run chance, but he has weak power. So 1-12 will be a single. 13-20 is a double. That is a 12. It'll be a single. So had he had any kind of power at all, that would have been a home run. But as it is, Cliff Pennington will settle, if you want to call it that. He will settle for a single. And am I missing a running mark? I might be missing a marker for them. I'll check it out here. They've gotten stuck somewhere. Let me see. Make sure what's going on with this. Yep. Tomas and Pennington got stuck in my envelopes. Let's bring them out, make sure they're there. So Cliff Pennington with a single. Like I said, if he had normal power, that would have been a home run, but they'll take the single, especially from a guy like Pennington, who's not much of a hitter. And speaking of not much of a hitter, here's Tuffy Gosa, which is not much of a bunter either. So he's going to swing away. He is hitting 263 and just 19 at bats. He's been fighting injury as well. Infield double play depth, and Pennington will be held as a C stealer. 110, and that's a ground ball shortstop B. That'll be a fielder's choice. So he'll be erased, and Tuffy Gosowicz will be the new runner at first on the 6-4 fielder's choice. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Chase Anderson. Anderson, a 104 hitter, not very well, but he does bunt well. So he's an A bunter, becomes a B bunter. So we'll go to the advanced sacrifice bunt chart as a B bunter. B bunter and a 5. B bunter and a 5. Batter thrown up by pitcher, runner advances. So it's a 1-4 sacrifice bunt. Gosowicz does take second base. There are now 2 outs, but Anderson got his job done. And it's going to be up to Inciarte to bring him home. Inciarte doubled and scored his first chance. Gosowicz certainly not being held at second base. 2-4. 2-4 is a fly ball to left to end the inning. So Leake pitches out of the mess. Nothing doing for the Diamondbacks here in the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Diamondbacks. Reds will be coming up to see what they can do against Chase Anderson. They'll be sending Jay Bruce, Bird, and Barnhart, triple Bs, 3 Bs. Bruce is hitting just 209, a homer and 5 driven in, 67 at bat, so he's been struggling. 1-4 struck him out. He continues to struggle as Anderson gets the whiff. Marlon Byrd steps to the plate. He's hitting 329, 6 homers, 11 driven in. 2-7, and he strikes out. So another strikeout for Chase Anderson. And that'll bring up the catcher, switch hitting catcher Tucker Barnhart. Splits time with Brian Pena. In 32 at bats, he's hitting 219, a homer, and 1 run driven in. So 111, and that's a single for Tucker Barnhart. So a 2-out single for Barnhart. And he will reach, and it will send up the guy who's taking the place right now of Todd Frazier, and that is DeJesus, Ivan DeJesus. And DeJesus steps up, and he is in limited duty, obviously. He's 1 for 5. He's hitting 200. Barnhart not being held on first base. Does not run well as an E-stealer. 3-7, and that's a 1-8 for a single for DeJesus. And he got it around the number in 8. So a 2-out single by DeJesus that moves Barnhart. It's a 1-star, so Barnhart can only move to second base, but it does put runners at first and second for the pitcher, Mike Leake. That's the one thing that's hurting the Reds right now is you got the pitcher up. Mike Leake on the season was a 116 hitter with 2 home runs, so he's not necessarily chopped liver, I should say, but not exactly a stalwart either. So Anderson, to his counterpart Leake, 2-5, struck him out to end the inning. So that'll do it for the Reds here in the second. We go to the third, still 1-0 since Cincinnati trailing the Diamondbacks. And it'll be Nick Ahmed to lead off for the Diamondbacks. Ahmed will be followed by Goldschmidt and Pollock. Ahmed struck out his first chance. 6-2 against Leake is a fly to left. No ballpark effects to worry about, so simply just a routine fly to left for out number 1 as Bird puts it away. Here's Goldschmidt. 2-6 for Goldschmidt. He's going to strike out, so how about that? Two up and 2 down just that quickly. And it'll bring up A.J. Pollock. Pollock walked his first time up, stranded at third base. 5-4, ground ball third base X. That is DeJesus, and he's a 4. 4 and 8, going to go to an error check, most likely. 4 and 8 will go to an error check. He is an E17. E17 and a 7 for a third baseman is a ground ball A, so it'll work. Good play for DeJesus. He handles it no problem, and the Diamondbacks go quietly here in the top of the third. Still 1-0 ball game. And Billy Hamilton will lead it off for the Reds. Hamilton singled, stole second, but was stranded at third base. That's a 4-10, and that's a walk, so more trouble letting Billy Hamilton reach base. And you know he's going to be looking to run again. We've already figured out it's a 1-13 from the previous outing. So 1-13, they're going to send him. And this time it fails. Hamilton gets thrown out. Try to get greedy, I guess. And the second baseman, Pennington, put on the tag. And there's one away on the caught stealing. One down for Brandon Phillips. 6-12, that's an injury chance for Chase Anderson. Will conclude the at-bat first. Ground ball first base X. First base is Goldschmidt. He is a 1. And he will make the play. It'll be flipping to Anderson covering, but Anderson's coming up limping. That's out number 2, but we checked the injury chances on Anderson. And we'll go to our injury chart. Injury chart it is for the pitcher. And we'll check this right-hand column and see what happens on the D20 roll. 15, that means he's going to miss 12 games, which kind of leads up to about at least 2 starts, maybe 3. So Chase Anderson will have to be lifted as he is done something to himself. He pulled a hamstring or did something trying to cover first, and he is out of there. So Chase Anderson will have to leave. Josh Colementor, who was a starter before, will be coming on, and he'll be given as much time as he needs to warm up. But he will be on. Josh Colementor. So unfortunately for the Diamondbacks, Anderson comes up lame, and they will turn to Colementor. Fortunately, there was an off day yesterday, so the bullpen got an extra day of rest. And they may need it after this because it might be a bullpen game. So Colementor is in. 2 outs and the bases are clear for Joey Votto. It's a 2-6. And that's a strikeout to end the inning. So Colementor comes in, strikes out Votto to end the inning. But the bigger picture is Chase Anderson is going to miss a couple of starts. So it looks like they'll have to bring in go to the minors and bring in somebody as a 5th starter. Might end up being Patrick Corbin. Be bringing him in quicker than what I really wanted to, based on when he joined the team. But injuries will dictate that. So we'll go to the top of the 4th, still 1-0 ball game. And here is Peralta. Singled his first time up. 6-8, and he's going to ground it to second. That's Phillips. He's a 1. 1-17 is good all day long. Brandon Phillips makes the play. 1 down, and that brings up Yasmani Tomas. Tomas, his first time up, grounded to short. 3-6, and he will get a single this time. So 1 out single for Yasmani Tomas as he will reach. And Tomas is a base runner. See Steelers, so he will have to be held, but they won't send him anywhere, or won't try anything. Cliff Pennington, the batter. Pennington singled his first time up. 1-7, he will fly to center, and that's out number 2. So 2 down, and that'll bring up the catcher, Tuffy Gosewich. And Gosewich, first time up, reached on a fielder's choice. 6-7, and it's a 1-6 single. Anything else, he grounds to Phillips. And it's a 4, so it's going to get through for a single. It's only 1 star, so Tomas has to stop at second base. But Gosewich will get the base hit, and it will clear the pitcher, Cole Mentor, who's now in the game for the injured Chase Anderson. And Cole Mentor is using pitcher hitting card number 3. So I need to pull that out. Pitcher hitting card number 3. The pitcher hitting card number 3 for Mr. Cole Mentor. Two outs, nobody being held. Well, Tomas is being held on second. 1-9, and that is a single. How about that for pitcher hitting card number 3? A 1-9 is a single. Let's see if Tomas can score. He was being held, so let's see. Tomas runs at a 13. Was being held makes him a 12, but there are 2 outs, makes it a 14. The single is assumed to go to center. That's Billy Hamilton. He's a -2. That would be a 12. So 1-12, they're going to send him. And he's thrown out. Billy Hamilton throws him out at the plate. What a throw by Hamilton, as Tomas was dead meat at the plate. But with the pitcher hitting, they figured got a hit out of the pitcher. They were kind of playing with house money at that point. At least that's what they thought. But Billy Hamilton says, you ain't doing it. So Hamilton gets the Reds out of a jam. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. Cole Mentor back out. Will be facing Eugenio Suarez, Bruce, and Bird. 5-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. That is Peralta. Peralta's a 3. 3-19 is good, so he will make the play. I'll bring up Jay Bruce, right fielder. Bruce, his first time, struck out. 1-8, and he will strike out again. So Jay Bruce continues to struggle. Here's Marlon Byrd. He also struck out his first chance. No, I'm sorry, he flew to center his first chance. No, he did strike out, my bad. 2-8, and not this time. 1-9 is a double. Anything else, he flies to left field. Peralta to end the inning. And he does. Peralta runs it down to end the inning. That's going to do it for the Reds as they come away empty-handed. 1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the 5th. Still 1-0. Favor of Arizona. Leak back out. His fatigue is a 6, so he's still good. It'll be the top of the order for the Diamondbacks. Inciarte to lead it off. 4-5. It's ground ball shortstop X. That's Suarez. He is a 3. 3-19, though. He will make the play. Good play by Suarez to start the 5th. Here's Ahmed. 6-7. That's a 1-6 single. Anything else, he grounds to Phillips. And Phillips takes care of it. 2 down. 2 ground ball outs to start the top of the 5th. And that'll send us to Paul Goldschmidt. 5-8, and that's trouble. 1-9 is a double, 10-20 is a single. That is a single for Paul Goldschmidt, a 2-out single for Goldie. And he's definitely a threat to run as an A stealer. Try to get in scoring position, perhaps. Catcher Barnhart's a 0 arm. A stealer is a 15. -2 being held is a 13. So 1-13, he's going to try it. And he's caught stealing. So Goldschmidt tried to get in scoring position, and it just did not work out as Barnhart sent a laser beam down there, and Phillips put on the tag to end the 5th inning. Fix something here. Didn't do something. I'm trying to do this in the computer at the same time. Sometimes I forget to enter something. So let's go back. Forgot to enter the ground out by Ahmed. Then we got the single by Goldschmidt and then the caught stealing. Okay, now we're straight. Bottom of the 5th we go. Cole Minter back out. He actually, as a former starter, certainly has a long relief rating, so he's good to go. It'll be Barnhart, DeJesus, and Leak for the Reds. 4-3, that's a fly ball right field X. That's Inciarte. He is a 1. 1-11 is going to go to an error check. He is an E8. E8 and a 3. An E8 and a 3 is a 2-base error on Inciarte. How about that? Tucker Barnhart reaches on a 2-base error by Inciarte. And the Reds have something cooking. Here's DeJesus. Barnhart at second base will not be held. He doesn't run well at all. 6-3, that's a straight up home run chance against Cole Minter. DeJesus does have normal power. It is gone. Ivan DeJesus, a 2-run homer. And how about that? That 2-base error preceded that. And that allows the Reds to take a 2-1 lead. Unbelievable. A 2-1 lead now thanks to the home run from Ivan DeJesus. But it was predicated by the 2-base error from Inciarte, the normally reliable Inciarte. So now here is Leak. Cole Minter's got to recover. 6-7, he walks him. How about that? He walks the pitcher. So obviously Cole Minter is a little bit on the stun side. I don't have a runner thing for the pitcher, so we'll just use this right here, just so you know Leak is on first base. A walk to the pitcher, and now the bullpen for the Diamondbacks is active, as they do have a left-hander, Andrew Chafin, loosening. Here's Billy Hamilton. He is an A bunter, so it's a good chance here that he may draw, or he may be asked to bunt. He becomes a B bunter, so we'll go to the advanced B bunting chart with a B. We get a 5. B and a 5. I think we had that once before. Batter thrown out by pitcher, so very good. Leak will take second base on the sacrifice bunt. We'll go 1-4. Puts the runner in scoring position. Leak, although he doesn't run well and he's not being held, obviously. But here's Brandon Phillips. 2-8 for Cole Minter. It flies to left. That's out number 2. 2 down. It's up to Votto now. Let's see how they want to play this. First base is obviously open. And behind Votto, you do have Suarez. So I think they're going to play their percentages, and they're going to issue a free pass to Joey Votto and go after Eugenio Suarez. So Joey Votto given the free pass, and Eugenio Suarez, the batter. Holminter getting close to being fatigued, so he's got to be careful. 2 on, 2 already in, and 2 outs. It's a 4-3. Fly ball right field. X is going to give Inciarte another chance. He is a 1. 1 and a 2. He will make the catch, and that's going to end the inning. So that's going to do it for Holminter as well. His day is done, but he certainly gave him some innings when they needed it. But the big error by Inciarte set the whole thing up, and now it's 2-1 in favor of the Reds. And we have the middle of the order coming up for the Diamondbacks, as it'll be Pollock. And Pollock was at the plate when Goldschmidt got caught stealing. So it will be Pollock to lead it off here in the top of the 6th. This is the fatigue inning for Leake. 3-8, and it's a fly to center, so that certainly won't hurt his cause any as far as fatigue goes. Fly to center. Here is Peralta. 3-7. That's a single for Peralta, so that will certainly count against the point of weakness. And Peralta is a C stealer, so he will have to be held. If you don't hold him, then he's going to have a free run at second base, so they're going to have to hold him on. And here is Yasmani Tomas. Yasmani Tomas with the runner being held. 1-2. It's a ground ball first base C. That will advance the runner. It's going to go down as a 3-1 put out as Votto flips to Leake covering. But it does move Peralta up to second base with now 2 outs for Cliff Pennington. 9-run Peralta at second base, has good speed, is being held. 5-9. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Ground ball to second. That's going to end the inning. So Leake pitches out of it and keeps the score at 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. All right, we will get a new pitcher for the Diamondbacks. It will be Andrew Chafin, the lefty, as Jay Bruce is set to lead off for the Reds. So they will turn to Chafin. Holminter was starting to sputter a little bit there towards the end. So they will go to Andrew Chafin. Left-hander. And we'll get the numbers on Chafin on the replay. And Chafin is 0-0 with an ERA of 3. 9 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Chafin is set to bat second next inning, but he's a 1-inning guy, so they're not in there for double switches or anything. So Chafin it is. To start off facing Jay Bruce, lefty on lefty. 2-11 for Bruce, and that's a home run chance, 1-14, and it will be gone. It is gone. Jay Bruce found the lefty to his liking and cracks one over the right field wall to give the Reds an extension through their lead. It's now 3-1. So, boy, Diamondbacks, Chip Hale, wondering about that move to bring the lefty in. It certainly didn't seem to work for him. But see what he does to Marlon Byrd. 4-10 against the righty, and it's a ground ball shortstop X. That is your shortstop Ahmed. He is a 2. 2-12. Should be an error check. And it is. His error rating is an E18. and a 2. How about that? E18 and a 2. E18 and a 2. Chance for an error on a 4 to 6 on the white die. It's a ground ball A. 1 to 3 on the white die. It's a 2-base error. It's a 3, so it's a 2-base error. Here it is, right here on the chart. E18. If it's a split chance, if you roll a 1 to 3 on the white die, it's a 2-base error. That's a 3, so it's a 2-base error. 2-base error, bird will reach. And Diamondbacks kind of falling apart here. Chafin, that wasn't his fault. That was just bad fielding. So the home run is followed by a 2-base error on the shortstop. The normally reliable Nick Ahmed, but reliable no more this time. That'll bring up Tucker Barnhart. Bird will be held at second. Barnhart 6'6", switch hitter batting right. 1 to 9 is a single. Anything else, he grounds to third. That's an 11, so he's going to ground it to third, and that'll freeze Bird at second base. So a big out to get right there as they retire Barnhart. That's going to bring up DeJesus. He had the big home run, big 2-run homer his last time up. Bird continues to be held. 6'9". Let's check Chafin for injury. I don't think 6'9" is going to be a factor, but does need to be verified on the injury chart. Andrew Chafin. Nope, he's a 6'12" for an injury, so 6'9" is okay. And he struck him out. He's not tired, so strikeout is good. Big strikeout there, and that brings up Mike Leake. And the way he's pitching, you're not going to take him out, so especially with a 3-1 lead now. So they're going to pitch to Leake. 3-10, and that's a strikeout. Boy, 3-9 would have been a base hit because they were holding the runner, but 3-10's a strikeout to end the inning. And the Reds strike for another run. We go to the 7th. It's 3-1. Favor of the Cincinnati Reds. So that's all for Chafin. He's done for the day. They will pinch hit for him. And we'll look at the bench and see who they might want to use. Against the righty, they do have Lamb and they have Strat-O-Matic, so they're going to pull out Jake Lamb as a pinch hitter. First will be Gosewich, and then it'll be Jake Lamb, and then we'll need a new pitcher in the bottom of the 7th. So Tuffy Gosewich will lead things off, and he will be followed by Jake Lamb. Leake's still okay. He only gave up 1 ding against his point of weakness, so he's still good to go. 6'10". 6'10's catcher X. Catcher Barnhart is a 2. 2 and a 15. Let's see what becomes of that. 2 and a 15 is a pass ball pop out, so nobody's on base, so it's simply going to be a foul out. And there is 1 away to start the 7th. And that brings up the pinch hitter, Jake Lamb. Jake Lamb is your batter. Pinch hitter, and on the season, Lamb. Oops, let's bring him in first. That would help. Bring him in on the computer, I should say. I've got him in the game now, but on the cards and dice. But let's bring him on the computer. And Lamb on the replay is hitting a $156, no homers and 4 driven in. It's a 4-7. That's a fly to center, and that's 2 away. So Lamb is retired without much difficulty on the fly out to center field. Back to the top of the order we go. For Ender Inciarte, his error was huge. 5-11, and that's a single for Inciarte. So Inciarte gets a 2-out single. Don't know if they want to send him, though, because you're down by 2 runs. Although if he gets to second, he could score on a base hit by Ahmed. Tough choices there. Definitely tough choices. Let's see what they want to do. In fact, I'm going to pause the video while I ponder this. Okay, we're going to let Nick Ahmed hit. We're not going to take a chance on Inciarte getting caught stealing. So Ahmed will swing away. Inciarte is being held, obviously. 2-7, and that's a walk. So all of a sudden, 2 on and 2 down. And the D-backs threatening. And Leake approaching fatigue level for Paul Goldschmidt, and I think that's going to be all for Leake. I think they're going to go ahead and pull Leake right here. They gave him every opportunity to try to complete the inning, but it looks like he is falling prey to fatigue. And so they will make the call to the bullpen, and they will go to a right-hander, and it will be a right-hander out of the pen is going to be J.J. Hoover. So J.J. Hoover coming into the ball game for the Reds in a critical situation. Try to keep the score the way it is. Hoover on the replay, 2-0 with a 1.42 ERA, 13 innings pitched, 7 hits, 7 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Inciarte being held at second. Hoover, 4-11. Ground ball to first, that's going to do it as Votto takes it to the bag himself, and Hoover pitches out of that jam. He got the job done, and that keeps the D-backs off the board, keeps the score 3-1. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time. Score 3-1. So sit back and relax, and I'm going to take a stretch with you and sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." All right, 7th inning, bottom of the 7th we go, and we need a new pitcher for the Diamondbacks, obviously, since they pinch hit for the pitcher. So coming on for the Arizona Diamondbacks, they'll be facing the, let's see who they're going to be facing here. Billy Hamilton will be leading off. It'll be switch right, left, so you can pretty much pick your poison how you want to go with this. They're going to go to Daniel Hudson out of the bullpen, right-hander. So Daniel Hudson will be on. 3rd pitcher used by the Diamondbacks, but again, there was an off day yesterday, so everybody's got their full rest, so they are able to come out without any problems. And he'll be facing Billy Hamilton to lead it off. On the replay, Hudson 0-0 with an ERA of an even 2, 9 innings pitched, 8 hits, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. There is Hamilton. 1-5, and that's a leadoff walk. Don't want to do that to Hamilton. Now, he got caught stealing his last time up, so they may just freeze him here and let him stay there. They will hold him on. He will be held on, but he won't go anywhere. Here's Brandon Phillips. 2-7 for Phillips, and that's a ground ball shortstop A with a plus sign on it with them holding Hamilton. That means he gets through for a base hit. So Phillips, that's another reason you didn't want to send him. You want to open up that right side of the infield, and it paid off big time dividends as Brandon Phillips found that hole and sneaks it into right field for a base hit, moving Hamilton to 3rd. Runners are on the corners with nobody out. And with the score being already a 3-1 game, they're going to have to play the infield in. There's really not much choice in the matter. There's Joey Votto. One, 3, and that's a walk. That's going to load the bases. So look at that. Hudson just doesn't seem to have it. So he's going to be pulled because he just can't get it done. He just couldn't get anybody out. Had 3 chances and couldn't get anybody out. Now he leads with the bases loaded. All runners are his responsibility. And now with Eugenio Suarez coming up, they will go to the bullpen again for the 5th pitcher, and they will be using Addison Reed, who will later go on to be with the Mets, but right now he is with the D-backs. So Addison Reed is your new pitcher. And talk about a tough spot to come into. Bases loaded. Bases are loaded, nobody out. Infield is in. If they go double play, they're going to try to go home to first to turn it. Suarez is your batter. 5th pitcher used by Arizona so far, but they're trying to doing what they can, try to keep themselves in the game. 4-10. That's a fly ball right field B. It's a sacrifice fly. Hamilton will come in to score, and the Reds extend the lead to 4-1. 4-1 game now on the sacrifice fly to right field. Phillips thought about going to third, but will stay there at second base. And that brings up Jay Bruce. Runs at first and second, now 1 out. Infield double play depth. 111, that's a strikeout. Jay Bruce out on strikes for out number 2. So Reed trying to do his best to keep his team in the game. Kind of in a no-win situation. Here's Marlon Byrd. 4-11. Single to right field. This could be another run. Single to right. Phillips was being held. He runs at a 15, being held makes him a 14, but the 2 outs makes it a 16. Right fielder arm is -3 for Inciarte. It's a 1-13 for Phillips. They'll send him, and he's out. So Phillips gets thrown out at the plate. Nice throw there by Inciarte to throw him out and prevent any further damage. But a run comes in to increase the lead to 4-1. But Inciarte kept it from being anything worse than that. And now Hoover only faced 1 batter in the last inning, so he's still good to go, obviously. He will be facing Pollock, Peralta, and Tomas. 4-1 Reds here in the top of the 8th. 1-7, and that's a 1-6 single chance. Anything else? And he will line it to DeJesus at third. And DeJesus snags it for out number 1. So 1 down. And that's going to bring up Peralta. Two-6. 1-16 is a single. And it is a single for Peralta. But down 4-1, they're not going to try to steal. They need base runners. So Peralta will just stay there at first base. He will be held on. I mean, the Reds just don't want to give him second base. So he will be held on. And that brings up Yasmani Tomas. Tomas, the batter. Six-7, and that's a walk. Don't want to start walking, guys. Giving free bases. Now the bullpen for the Reds is up again. Cliff Pennington, a switch hitter, is due up. They're going to keep Hoover in there, although he is now tired. So do they keep him in there? That's the question. They're going to try. They're going to leave him in there for 1 more batter. Pennington stepping to the plate. Infield double play depth. 3-8, and that's a strikeout. So Hoover got a big strikeout there for out number 2. That'll bring up Gosewich, but I think he's going to be called back for a pinch hitter because they need a better hitter at the plate. So Gosewich will be called back, and they will go to the bench. Diamondbacks will turn to, do they have it's any good? Not a whole lot, to be honest with you. Best average on the bench seems to be Jordan Pacheco. He's also can catch. So even though he's right-handed, they're going to bring him in to pinch hit because he has the best average to go with. So Pacheco, and he will stay in the game to catch, obviously. So Pacheco is on, pinch hit, and they're going to stick with Hoover. They're going to try to get Hoover through this inning. Pitcher spot is on deck, and they've already got Strat-O-Matic up to pinch hit for the pitcher if it gets that far, but Hoover's trying to prevent that. 1-8, and that's a ground ball back to the pitcher, and that's going to do it. Hoover throws to first, and he guts out the inning. Comes away unscathed. Didn't look that way, but it's the way it turned out. And we will go now to the bottom of the 8th. And we need a new catcher, of course, is Jordan Pacheco. Question is Addison Reed still in the game to pitch? They're dealing with Barnhart, DeJesus, and Leak. Reed, he only faced 3 batters, so I think he's going to come back out and pitch here to try to keep the score where it is. Tucker Barnhart, the batter. 2-9, and that's a fly to left, 1 away. And that will send up to DeJesus, and then we'll get a pinch hitter for Hoover. Three-two, fly to right. So fly to left, and now a fly to right. 2 down, and now we need a pinch hitter, and it will be Brennan Bosch, the left-hander. So Brennan Bosch, our backup outfielder, hasn't had a lot of playing time, but he's going to get a chance to pinch hit in this one. And we'll check the numbers for Brennan Bosch. Brennan Bosch is hitting 100. He's 1 for 10 on the season. No homers or runs driven in, but 2 out bases empty. You're up 4-1 in the 8th. Good time to use him. Get him in at bat. 6-5, and he flies to left to end the inning. So kind of no harm, no foul there. But you got him in at bat that they needed. So that's going to end the inning. Reed did very well for himself, keeping the score right where it is. It's 4-1. We are going to the 9th, and that means Aroldis Chapman time. Chapman has 6 saves. If he gets one here, he will tie Familia with the league lead of 7, but he's got to get the save first. Easier said than done, but he does have a 3-run lead to work with. So Aroldis Chapman, we'll get the numbers on Chapman. So Chapman is on. And on the replay, Aroldis Chapman is 1-1 with a 2.70 ERA, 6 saves, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. So the walks are a little high. That's kind of concerning, I think. But we'll get a pinch hitter here in the 9th for the Diamondbacks. And since it's a lefty on the mound now, they're going to switch off and not use Strat-O-Matic. They're going to go to one of their right-handers off the bench. Either going to be Aaron Hill or Chris Owings. Who's got the better average? Owings is 227, Hill is 230, so we go with Hill. So it's Aaron Hill to pinch hit for the pitcher, Addison Reed. So Reed did very well for himself, but right now they need bats. So it is Aaron Hill to pinch hit, and Hill on the replay is only hitting 171 in 35 at bats. No homers and 1 run driven in, but he's the best you got average-wise off the bench. So that's where they're going. Aaron Hill to be followed by Cincinnati and Ahmed. 4-1 Reds, top of the 9th. 5-11, and that's a strikeout. So Aaron Hill out on strikes. 1 down. Flips the order over to Cincinnati. 1-7, and that's a fly to center. 2 down. So Chapman 1 out away from getting that 7th save to tie the league lead. Here's Ahmed. Last chance for the D-backs. 4-6, struck him out. There's your ball game. Boy, Chapman breezed here in that top of the 9th and gets an easy save, relatively easy save. And the Reds win it 4-1. We'll get the numbers in just a second. Pull it up on the computer and see who got the win and the save and all that good stuff. I believe Leake's the winner. Not sure who the loser is. It could have been, unfortunately, Anderson. Let's see. No, it's actually Colementor that takes the loss. He's 3-2. He drops to 3-2. Leake, the winner, improves to 2-2. And the save to Chapman, his 7th. So he is tied Familia with the league lead. Diamondbacks 1 run, 10 hits, and 2 errors. Boy, that's a rough line score for a team right there. And they also left 10 on base. So they had their opportunities, but just couldn't cash in. Reds 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors, left on 8. So there you have it. The Reds continue their hot hitting and their hot ways, and they improve now to 12-10. Diamondbacks drop to 11-11. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of the Strat-O-Matic Demolition League 2015 style, Series 8. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, how we choose to play it. I will see you all down the road.